Sure. Our set going on down. Going to find... Greetings, everyone. I am glad to be here, and I am glad that you are here. Today's jank is in Historic, and we are trying to play some Lands Matter. Okay. In the interest of full disclosure, this is actually more Selesnya mid-range, even necessarily than Lands Matter. This deck started with me saying, I want to play for Yasharn. What does that mean? I don't care. I want to play for Yasharn, darn it, right? So in a 60-card deck, sometimes you got to respect the legend rule, and so you can only like maybe think 3 or something like that. So we made it a Yorion pile so that we could have even more Yasharns in the main. We'll see how that works out. So along with Yorion, of course, being an 80-card deck when you have Yorion as your companion, we have some blink stuff that can help. Such as Skyclave Apparition, Elspeth Conquers Death, and some Planeswalkers to reset their loyalty and stuff. That said, there aren't a ton of blink shenanigans in here, so we'll see. It may or may not be worth it. We might want to up the number of blink payoffs in this deck, so we'll have to see once we play some games with it. But I'm actually kind of excited just to see how this all plays out. That said, yeah, just a lot of Lands Matter stuff. So we have 31 lands in the main, because we're an 80-card deck. But then we also have 2 of the Mythic MDFCs, 4 Kazandu Mammoths, 3 Florahedrons, just all lots and lots of lands. Then, of course, those of you who don't know, Knight of the Reliquary, +1/+1 for each land in your graveyard. You may sacrifice a forest or plains, search your library for a land, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle your library. I wouldn't say this is built around Knight of the Reliquary. Like I say, honestly, I really want to be playing Yasharn. But Yasharn does say sacrifice non-land permanents to cast things. So we can sacrifice plains or forests. Normally, this kind of stops a lot of that stuff. So we're really looking forward to trying to play around those things. Nissa, one of the other really cool things in the Lands Matter theme is she has 5 loyalty when you cast her. You plus, she goes to 6. That's, I cast her, I plus this turn. Then I pass you the turn. She turns a land into a 5/5 that stops being a 5/5 on your next turn. So she does protect herself. But the idea is you can then just -6. As soon as you get the turn back. Very, very powerful to get that emblem immediately. And the emblem is, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. So if we're able to keep the board at least manage, have lots of blockers and stuff. We don't have any board sweepers, so I don't know, that might come back to bite us. But as long as we can kind of manage the board, being able to have every single land drop profit us sounds like a lot of fun, folks. I really want to do this. It's possible in the 80-card pile we are supposed to be on, like, 4 Nissa. I can accept that. It's also quite possible maybe we're supposed to have, like, more or less main deck Yorion and more, like, Nissa or something. I don't know. We can discuss that after we play some games with it. Then the other notable card here, Ajani Unyielding. I think this card is insanely powerful. If you can play it, it's great. It is a 6-mana planeswalker, though, so you gotta have a reason to play it. So my reason is I have green lands and I have white lands. That may not be a justifiable reason, but holy crud, I love this card. So we're playing it, and of course, some fetch lands and utility lands to go and find with Knight of the Reliquary and put lands into the graveyard, Knight of the Reliquary, things like that. So yeah, all fun things to do. Let's go see if we can pull some of them off. All right, folks, here we are up against Ihaudian. Good luck, Ihaudian. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to hang on to this. It's not great, but we have turn 1 Llanowar. Lots of things to draw into. At the very least, we could add Yorion to our hand this turn, and then, yeah, we'll see. But Well, shoot. All right, fine. I guess. It's at least something to do. Do need to draw into a 4-drop, though. I really don't want to do basically nothing 2 straight turns. That would be decidedly not great. Opponent Growth Spirals. Gets a land into play. Then Uros this turn. Also going to get a land into play, I assume. Indeed. On top of being on the play, they have ramped twice. They are now on 5 lands. So not great. And of course, we do not draw into our land ourselves. So we're going to, I guess, just attack for 1 and wish we had something to do. That appears to be the order of the day. Opponent, Nissa, who shakes the world. Comes on down, going to animate a breeding pool. Opponent on 4 mana now. We take 3 to our face. And they pass. All right. Don't counterspell me, bro, as they say. Elspeth conquers death. All right. Nissa going away. Yep. And we will pass. See what the opponent gets up to over there. Overgrown Tomb shocks in. Breeding Pool gets in for 3 as well. We dropped 14. 6 mana, 8 mana. Hydrate Crisis, I assume? 6 mana. Oh, just Casualties of War, maybe. You don't see a lot of Casualties of War. Oh, it is a Hydrate Crisis. Interesting. I wonder why they're leaving up just the single blue there. That is strange. For sure. Well, let's Ajani Unyielding. Go ahead and get rid of the Hydrate Crisis. Opponent gains a couple of life for the trouble. If they kill Ajani Unyielding, then we just get it back with Elspeth Conquers Death, and we just get a couple more loyalty counters onto it, so it actually kind of benefits us if they do. Opponent fetches a forest, and gets down Narset, Parter of Veils. Sure. Narset going on down, going to find... a Growth Spiral. Fair enough. Opponent does go ahead and kill Ajani's... Oh, darn it. No. Shoot. Oh, man. I was really excited. They initially went to attack Ajani Unyielding, then thought better of it and hit us instead. Sure enough, Elspeth Conquers Death goes away and fetches nothing for us as far as value is concerned. Ajani Unyielding, we +2. We hit only a Lotus Cobra, but that is actually not the end of the world at all. Let's see. All right, well, I think we're just going to Nissa Vital Force then. Nissa Vital Force, as they say. Hey there, Gust. All right, fine. Yeah, that's really annoying. We really did want that to come down this turn. Oh, shoot. I guess we were supposed to make a land drop of Kazandu Mammoth there. I was initially not, because we were thinking we wanted to have a land for after Nissa ults and everything. But that plan changed when they Aether Gusted, right? So, unfortunate indeed. Well, shoot, folks. Yeah, not great. Thoughtseize, don't. Come on. Very frustrating. Alright. Opponent thinking things over. Goes for Yorion. No, goes for Elspeth Conquers Death. Alright. That seems a little odd to me, actually. Opponent going to kill the Ajani Unyielding, almost certainly. Actually, we will defend him. I think. Just keep plussing to accrue more value, I think. Really wish we had this land in play now. That would have been better. Alright, Uro, Titan Nature's Wrath, coming on down, sure. Not a surprise there. Life gained, card drawn. Alright. Well, the first thing we're going to do, plus Ajani Unyielding. Oh boy, get several Felidar Retreats there. Feels good, man. But, yeah, I think we're still just on the Elspeth Conquers Death. Get rid of Uro plan. And we will make a land drop now. That Aether Gust really did kind of get us, folks. Brand new Uro, Titan Nature's Wrath, making an appearance, gaining some life, drawing more cards. The bin, of course, empty, except for Uro itself. Maelstrom Pulse! Oh my goodness, brutal. Brutal. Alright, opponent getting in at Ajani and our face. Yeah. Folks, opponent's hand lined up very, very well against ours, unfortunately. Ay, 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 ay. I do think that is it. Yeah. Alright. Good game, opponent. You got it. It was an honor. Folks, this is a little awkward, but I think we are going to hang on to it. Our opponent, by Demon Be Driven. Let's just have this enter tapped, I guess. I don't think we need this to show our opponent this authority of the Consuls just yet. Interesting. Alright, well. Lotus Cobra, come on down. Opponent gets a land. Oh my goodness. It's Skirk Prospector. It's the goblins, folks. It's the goblins. Alright, let's add a green, shall we? Get down Kazandu Mammoth. And play an authority of the Consuls. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get in with Lotus Cobra. If they block it, we will be just a little disappointed, honestly. But getting rid of that Skirk Prospector would be fantastic. Because they won't block it unless they had another Skirk Prospector, right? It is the reason we'd be disappointed. We would never be disappointed trading Skirk Prospector for Lotus Cobra. But I do believe you understand what I'm saying. All right. Yeah. Kazandu Mammoth become a 5/5. Get in there. Drop him to 13. Alright, then we're going to go ahead and Felidar Retreat. Pass turn. Since all their creatures enter tapped now, there isn't a just win this turn automatically sort of thing. There are a whole bunch of different ways, you know, that we would be in a bad situation here after this turn. But I think getting the extra 5 damage in so that we can try and close the game is a good thing. Alright, well. I guess. Let's have this enter tapped. And let's get in with Kazandu Mammoth. Opponent blocks with the Chain Whirler. I would say chumps, but okay. We're kind of... oh, wow. I was expecting the Gem Palm Incinerator there, and they didn't do it. That is... great, actually. So now, do we want to draw a random card or use the Yorion? I think we're actually just going to draw a random card here. Okay, we get a brand new Yorion. All right, fair enough. Because we do need to make sure to keep hitting our land drops and stuff, right? All right, Authority of the Consuls. Opponent gets just a Goblin Chieftain. That's not quite the Muxus they were hoping to have, I think. It looks like next turn's going to be Elspeth Conquers Death, and yeah, that is absolutely it. Going to get rid of that fella. Opponent going to sacrifice it for a mana. No. Yeah, okay, does. I was like, wow, I don't know why they wouldn't do that. But for the time being, we are just going to make another land drop. Go our Kazandu Mammoth. Attack. Opponent really does have to chump here, which they do. Not a big deal, hopefully anyway. And we just keep moving on down the road. Opponent has another Muxus! Are you kidding me? Good heavens. Alright, well, fine. Muxus hits Krenko and Goblin Instigator. We gain a couple of life points, and opponent passes. Alright, well, let's... I guess just Yorion Sky Nomad. Blank the Elspeth Conquers Death. And attack for 5. Alright. Opponent blocks, sure. Elspeth Conquers Death comes back in. We're going to get this Krenko. Don't want our opponent getting too many creatures here. We're not afraid of taking a Muxus hit that's relatively sizable. Okay, brand new Krenko comes down. And yeah, Demon Be Driven's like... Actually, this can kind of go on forever, can't it? Yeah. Yeah, it kind of can. We have a lot more where that came from. So, good game, though. Good game. I do not blame the concession, or blame you for the concession. It was just an honor to be certain having an opportunity to play against you. Alright, folks. I don't know. This is not amazing or anything, but it's doing what we ask of it, so only so much complaining you can do there, you know? Alright, so we're going to shock in. Get down to Llanowar Elves. Opponent goes with Jawari Ruins and an island. I have to expect this is going to be, you know, a counterspell here. So let's do this first. Oh boy, it just resolves. Huh. That is not at all what we were expecting, folks. They got rid of a counterspell turn 1. Into the land. Oh. Oh my word. Okay, so no, folks, our opponent is on all shenanigans all day. And for the record, I love it. This is fantastic. So let's do a little bit of shenaniganing ourselves. Opponent on 5 mana. We are on 5 mana. Hit him down to 12 points of life. Opponent thinking things over. Looking at Nissa, looking at the plains. They've already shown us discontinuity, right? So they could have as many as 4 of them in the deck, right? So there would not be extraordinary to see another one. Oh, Thrix, the sudden storm coming on down, folks. That's not what we were expecting, and yeah. Opponent just scoops him up right there. I really kind of wanted to see what our opponent was up to there, but I think it would have been a pretty egregious punt for us to not just go right for that Thrix and try and shut our opponent down quick, you know? So for those of you who are trying to figure out kind of maybe what happened in that game, I do want to explain very, very briefly. Please forgive me if you understood already, but Lotus Field, when it enters, sacrifice 2 lands, but you add 3 of any one color. So the idea is this taps for 3, these tap for 1 each. You sacrifice 2 of them when it enters. So it's still just basically a land drop, but it's all concentrated in 1 land. So what happened is Lotus Field enters the battlefield. It now says, when Lotus Field enters, do this thing. That goes on the stack, right? So the opponent just said, discontinuity. Normally costs 6 mana, because you normally use it to end your opponent's turn. So you basically get to take an extra turn by ending your opponent's turn. But no. It costs 4 less if you end the turn on your turn. So our opponent spent 2 mana, ended the turn with the sacrifice 2 lands thing on the stack, and of course that just goes away. So it essentially counterspelled the triggered ability there. So our opponent got to have a whole bunch of mana right away. Then this Thrix, clearly our opponent's trying to do really big, powerful, crazy mana stuff, but probably didn't have a ton of it, and they were trying to deter us by casting the Thrix. They cast it with Flash on our turn, and I think that's a mistake. Or, I mean, on their own turn, I think that's a mistake. They could have cast it on our turn. And then we couldn't Elspeth Conqueror's Death it. So I do think that was a little bit of a punt, but our opponent was doing something really cool. Wish you could have saw it. Either way, let's move on to the next game show. All right, folks, here we are up against Eli the Curry. And yeah, okay, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's do this thing. I think this hand looks great, folks. Much like our beautiful, beautiful Bob Ross lands. That's right, if you weren't aware, Bob Ross, the author on these lands, you can kind of see down there at the bottom of this land. Very exciting times. I'm a huge fan of Bob Ross's content. Huge fan indeed. Opponent doing lots of mulliganing over there. I like winning the game. That part's good, but I make these videos to have you folks get to watch some really sweet stuff happen. So when our opponent mulligans way, way down, that's not great. Okay, they mulliganed on 5, so that gives us the advantage, but if they've just got the right 5-card hand, you can still absolutely come back and win that game. So let's see if our opponent can pull it off. I will admit to saying I'm not specifically rooting for our opponent, for the record. I would like to be the one to win. Thank you very much. All right. So yeah, if we do it this way, we have another trigger here. We can't spend the mana anyway, so there's a case we made for just playing our land route first, but oh well. Here we are. Opponent starts on Valakut Stoneforge. This does lead me to believe that our opponent is likely on like a combo deck. The Neoform combo would be my guess, but that's not necessarily true. All right. Yasharn, Implacable Earth coming on down. I'm going to make give us the ability to get some lands, and the opponent just says, you know what? Actually, we're down here. So it does, in fact, confirm, though. Our opponent was on Neoform combo. So you folks may be over there going, why the heck did the opponent scoop? That's ridiculous. You cast a 4-drop. They can come back from that. Not so much. Because Yasharn says players can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spells or abilities. The Neoform combo requires that you sacrifice a creature, and then you get to go and get another creature, and then you get to go and get another creature and get another creature, and they win the game on the spot, is what Eli the Curry is trying to set up. So Yasharn just shuts that down. Says no, we're not playing that game. We're gonna play my way. And yeah, Yasharn shutting things down is only half of what that card does. I love Yasharn. So either way, opponent, once they realize they couldn't win, just scooping them up. That is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. Good game, opponent. Good game. All right, folks, and we're back with the wrap up. Yeah, oh my goodness, I had a ton of fun playing this deck. I am like it played really, really well. We mentioned in the deck tech portion of the video that the Yorions might not have enough stuff to blink, and boy, oh boy, did that bear out. I'm actually not sure we're supposed to be a Yorion pile in this current build. It's quite possible we're not. At the very least, I think we might consider pulling some Yorions and adding some Nissas because we really did lack things to blink there. And there were situations where we didn't even want to blink the things we had because Felidar Retreat put out 1/1 counters on our other creatures. So, you know, it's one of those things where sometimes you could just like blink to untap your creature after attacking. Well, shoot, not if it's got 1/1 counters, right? So, yeah, I'm not pleased about that portion of the deck. That said, Yasharn did finally come through. Oh my goodness, we played this deck to play Yasharns and we didn't even get one until the final game where it was the only card that mattered in the entire matchup and just caused our opponent to scoop. That was absolutely fantastic. The Elspeth Conquers Death turns out a strong card, who would have guessed? And blinking Elspeth Conquers Death, a solid plan. So I think there's two different directions we could take this. The first and foremost way, you know, is likely just to make the lands matter more, which likely means maybe pulling these, adding some Nissas, maybe even cutting back on this package a little bit and adding some more other land matters cards. Alternatively, we could go with maybe a little more Yorion focused and just get some more enter the battlefield effects. I think all of those things, you know, any of those things could be fine. I was really hoping to be able to use Yorion to blink Yasharn over and over. Oh my goodness. The value, drawing like 2 lands every blink would have been amazing. So I still don't want to give up on the dream of taking away the Yorion pile, but I think the main deck Yorions might be a bit much, at least in its current iteration. That said, let me know how you might fix it down in the comments below. Just improve it just a little bit. It's our Friday video, so at least I think it is. I'm not sure. The editor will know. But I really enjoy playing these, even when I don't get to play them on stream and stuff. So, you know, fix them up. That would really help. But that said, I do have a stream, folks. I do stream Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 5 nights a week. I'm streaming 4 hours a night, folks. 4 hours a night. That's a lot of Magic the Gathering, darn it. So come out and see us. We'd love to have you. We would love to have you. It's always nice to get to know our friends. That said, if you wouldn't mind popping a like or whatever, it helps YouTube know to recommend my videos. And darn it, that would really help me a lot. So I appreciate it. You folks, have a wonderful day. I will catch you next time.